All right. So we're going to now work on the power endpoint. So let's get started with that. We're going to start in, let's see, let's come over. Let me pull this back up. So we're going to create a powerDao. So inside of the DAO's API folder, make a powerDao.js. So that's going to be for me, make dir app /DAOs /API. Oh yeah, it is touch. I'm not making a folder. Thank you. Touch app /DAOs /API /powerDao.js. There we go. And there's my powerDao. And so what we're going to do, we're going to say const con gets require. We're going to go and find that db config. I'm going to say const powerDao. It's going to get an object. And we're going to module.exports powerDao. So then what we want to do in here is we want to write queries that are specific to our power table. And so that's what's going to go in here. So let's see what we got. Inside the powerDao, what are we going to do? I think we only have one particular. Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. We'll write this one where we're just going to find the heroes by the power. So in other words, we click on, say, a power speed, then it's going to list all of the heroes by that particular power. All right, so let's get into it. So here I'll say the table is going to be power. Okay. And then our method is going to be find heroes by power. This is going to take a response. Oh, let me fix that. It's going to take a response. It's going to take a table, and it's going to take the actual power. And we're going to say con.execute. And I'm really going to pull all the information that I have from my find just to find heroes. So I just want to where we find the heroes. I'm just going to get that query and just recycle it. So I'm going to come over to HeroDAO and my find heroes. I'm simply going to grab this whole query right here, copy it, bring it over to powerDAO. I'm going to paste it, and I'm just going to make some changes here. So I'm going to select all the information from the hero table. Okay. And I'm going to change this up here. This is going to be h.hero. Matter of fact, all of these, instead of passing in the table, It's going to be H dot whatever. Let's be from hero H. Okay. And right here, that's going to be H dot hero ID. Okay. So this is the start of it because we want to get all that information, the hero ID, the hero name, first name, last name, alias, the franchise, the species, etc., etc. And then what I'm going to do is after the species, I need to connect all this information to the power table so that I can join the powers to this query. So right here underneath that species, I'm going to join hero to power HP on h dot hero underscore ID is equal to HP dot hero underscore ID. And then I'm going to join the power P on HP dot power underscore ID is equal to P dot power underscore ID. And I need to filter through it. I'm going to say where P dot power is equal to, this needs to be a string. And I'm going to do a template literal on the inside, passing in power. And then order it by the H dot hero ID. And so this is going to list every single power. Now, now I'm ready for my callback function, and it's going to be a little bit simpler than the ones that we've been doing previously, because the ones we've been doing previously was saying, hey, if there's only one row, well, then spread out the data, remove those square brackets. I don't want to do that with this one. I want this to be in array format, regardless if it is a single entity or not. And that's going to help me when I'm working on the actual layout of the data. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take the error in rows. Again, say if, oh, no, not like that. I'm going to say if there's no error, then we're just going to response.json the rows. That's all we're going to do. I'm not going to look to see if it's if there's only one item in there or not. So else, and then console.log. DAO error, pass in the table, and then then return the error. And that's all we're going to put inside the powerDao right now. Now, again, if we want to add, different queries in there, let's say we want to filter and say, hey, let's get all the villains with this particular power, or all the heroes with this particular power. I mean, we could do that. All we need to say is where, P dot power is power and H dot alignment is equal to, particular alignment. In which case we would need to have the alignment listed as an argument as well. So we could say response table power and then alignment, and that would return all that information. So we could parse through it or filter through it, rather, however we want to. That's up to you, right? We're learning to be master builders. Okay, so you just pick up the pieces as you want them put together. All right, so there's powerDao. That's done. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my DAO.js. So here's my DAO.js, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say const powerDao is going to get, and it's going to look just like this. I'm going to spread out the DAO common and then require API/powerDao. And then in our exports, we're going to export powerDao. That's it. That's all. Every endpoint is going to look just like that inside of our DAO.js. Again, because this is where all the cool DAOs hang out. Okay, only the cool ones. So there we have that. And now we're done with that. Now we can build out our powerRoutes. So let me not confuse. Let's build out a powerRoutes that's going to sit next to our Heroes. So I'm going to say touch app/routes/API. I need to spell touch correctly. Touch app/routes/API/powerRoutes.js. There's my powerRoutes. Cool. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say const express gets require express. Const router is going to get express.R router. Module.exports router. And we need to get access to the powerDao. So I'm going to say const, and remember we're destructuring the DAO. So I'm going to say powerDao : DAO, like so, is going to get require. We got to go all the way into the DAOs folder and get the DAO. All right. So now I want to say localhost : 3000/API/power. So in other words, let's come back over here. When I click on power, right now it's going to say, can I get API power? Because we haven't done anything yet. We're about to now. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to take me over to the power API and list out all the powers. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say router.get. And this endpoint is going to be for power. This takes a request up. Takes a request and response. And this first one is going to be find all. So this is going to be DAO.findAll. I didn't do count. We didn't add that one. DAO.findAll, and that takes a response, and it takes the table, which is DAO.table. There we go. Let's find by ID. Router.get /:ID. Takes a request and response. And that's going to be DAO.findById. Takes a response. DAO.table. And request.params.id. We didn't do count for heroes, but we'll do that, and we'll also get it here as well. Let's say we're going to say we want to find heroes by power. So I'm going to say router.get. This path would be pow slash, and then put in colon, we'll put the power in here. Again, takes a request and response. And this is going to be what, DAO dot find heroes by power. Find heroes by power takes a response. It takes the table and it takes the power. So response, DAO.table, and request.params.power. And then I'll add count. I'm going to move that one up here just to alphabetize it. Router.get / count. Takes a request and response. It's going to be DAO.countAll, which takes a response and the table. So response and DAO.table. And then while I'm at this, I got this here. I'm going to go back over to my hero routes because I want to add that count all there as well. So router.get / count takes a request and response, and that's going to be DAO.countAll. Again, that's response and DAO.table. Added that over to the hero routes as well. So now my powerRoutes is quasi completed. All that's done. Now the last thing I need to do, because again, remember, we go all the way to the database and we get the information from there, and then we got to come all the way back up to the router, stopping at the individual places as we need to. So I'm going to come back over here to router, and I already have it set up right here. All I need to do is add power to my array of endpoints, and that's it. And once I do that, it's going to create an endpoint, well, a router.use method here that says, hey, /API/power now is going to require that powerRoutes file. So you do need to make sure that your powerRoutes is in the correct location according to this here. Come back over here, refresh. Now when I click on power, there go all the powers. Oodalali. If I say power /count, it's going to return the total number of powers there are. If I now say pow / what we have here, elasticity, and there we see Mr. Fantastic. If you want to get all of our loopers, we got Spider-Man, and Paste Pot Pete. If we want to do, this is speed, everybody with speed. And what we could do with that is, again, we can filter, we can write whatever kind of queries we want. We could say count by the particular power. So how many heroes have this particular power? How many have absorption or regeneration, etc.? We can do that simply by just making another query and just fine tune our query. So again, the API can be as complex as you want it to be, and it's based on how well you can write a SQL query. Okay, but once you've mastered, I wouldn't say mastered, but you've developed some level of proficiency with SQL and writing queries, then you can simply just write that query here inside of your DAO for your API, and you're good to go. Because again, we could say how many Marvel characters have this particular power. How many, whatever it is we want to do, we could do that. So, I mean that's it for the powers. We'll stop this video, go to another one, and work on another endpoint.